Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and conspiracy theorists, and welcome to The Struggle, a news talk show powered by the federal budget. And while we are currently sifting through it, get in touch if you find anything that's actually relevant to us. I'm your host, Pauline. Welcome. Tonight, we'll be discussing Richmond's ridiculous rental rates, the subtle difference between musical instruments and guns, and offensive leggings. Well, it turns out Pauline Hanson might not have the greatest grasp on Australia's gun laws, or common decency, or reality. Yes, the fallout of Al Jazeera investigation into One Nation's meeting with the American gun lobby has shown that not only is One Nation desperate for cash, if they've got the money, they're perfectly happy to change the Australian voting system.
We can change the voting system in our country, the way people operate. We've got the money to do it. We have the people. We've got the momentum.
Deciding she hadn't had enough controversy, the undercover report then showed Pauline Hanson questioning whether the Port Arthur massacre was real, or whether it was a carefully orchestrated political stunt by the Conservative government of the day to strengthen Australia's gun laws.
Those shots, they were precision shots. I've read the book on it, Port Arthur.
Of course, it's not the first time Pauline Hanson has been caught misleading the public.
If you are seeing me now, it means I have been murdered.
Maybe she has Australia's gun laws to thank for that never becoming a reality. So it seems that some of our elected senators aren't the only ones who are skeptical about what the government tells us. Our own correspondent for the far-right, Pauline Hanson, has the latest on alternative facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, open your eyes, because my Queen Pauline has been horrifically accused for telling the truth. In fact, not only has she been smeared for asking the right questions, like why the Australian government would change their gun laws after a horrific mass shooting, but she's being ridiculed just for being skeptical. Sure, we can tug on the strings of the Australia's worst massacre in the last 30 years, but where does it lead? How long before we start to unravel the entire thread? You know, it doesn't just start at Port Arthur. Many people in my Facebook.com have been speaking out about vaccines and how they most likely cause gayness or something. It probably is true. And what about the moon landing? Classic skeptical theory. And what was with the flag waving and Lance Armstrong? How did he get on the fucking moon after winning 7 Tour de France's? What is going on? These are the real questions that we should be asking. But people, it all comes down to one thing. And I'm gonna throw something out there and I just wanna know what you think. The earth is flat, everybody knows, it's obvious. What I'm trying to say is, Port Arthur is a hoax. Howard Holt's disappearance is a hoax. Pauline's connection with the NRA, a hoax. And do you know what they all have in common is? Australia! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, snowflakes and cucks. Australia's a fucking hoax. And you know what? We're all paid actors. The whole thing, it's... So stay awake, sheeple.
Compose yourself, Tavleen. We live in a democracy. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Do not let this get to you. Thank you for your perspective, Pauline. Much appreciated, said no one ever. Right then, are you looking for a property to rent in Richmond? Are you into space saving and innovative design? Do you enjoy the smell of petrol whilst you cook your evening meal? Then we have just the property for you. This garage comes with a kitchen, bedroom, bathroom and built-in robes. What else could you want? Real estate agents Hawking Stewart described the house on its website as a stunning residence with a layout and location too good to refuse. Whilst the average weekly rent in Richmond is $320, this one-of-a-kind property had been leased for $495 a week. That's only $9 per square foot. This website also boasted that the small kitchenette is a space large enough to entertain. Yes, this is just what I've been looking for. There is nothing I enjoy more than having my friends over for a delicious meal served on the bonnet of my car. Honestly though, what the fuck? How can anyone expect to pay nearly $500 to live in a garage? We all know trying to pay rent, let alone actually purchasing a house, is proving troublesome for us millennials. To make matters worse, a recent hailstorm in the northern rivers of New South Wales has devastated an avocado farm. Warning, some viewers might find this content disturbing. With 4 million avocados destroyed in the storm, it is looking like millennials could be going homeless and hungry for the time being. If you're looking to rent this unique property, Hawking Stewart is unfortunately no longer the listed agent. I wonder why. But fear not, our housing correspondent Anthony has an alternative property for the same price that just might tickle your fancy.
Behind me stands one of Richmond's finest rental properties at the moment. For $450 a week, you can have all that.
That garage right there for $450 a week. Unfortunately, it has been taken off the market, but have no fear. If you're interested in a similar property
With a similar price range, follow me and I'll show you what other listings we have on offer. What property are you talking about, I hear you ask? Well, follow me and let me show you. This property.
Our other property, one bathroom. This property, countless.
Pick a tree. That's your bathroom. Actually, don't pick these trees because there's a high school right there. These ones. Just keep the distance. Utilities are provided. Fresh water source, natural light. What more can you ask for? Do you like dining outdoors? Well, you'll be doing it 24/7, rain, hail or shine.
Just like the property I showed you earlier, this one has a kitchen as well. But don't worry, it'll be steam cleaned before you guys arrive.
And these tacky knobs will be replaced, so you don't have to worry about that at all. Don't forget, all of this just $450 a week. If you're interested in this listing, please don't hesitate to call me, Anthony Stefanos, on 1-800-100-800-200-300.
What more could you want? We'll be back after this quick break. Welcome back. Now let's address something serious here. The suspicious activity at Melbourne's Flagstaff station last week, which saw the station locked down by police in riot gear for a full 30 minutes during peak hour. Indigenous man Will Austin was swarmed by heavily armed police after one of his fellow train passengers reported a suspicious-looking man breathing heavily and carrying a rifle. How dare he breathe, right? The Aboriginal musician was carrying a didgeridoo in a duffel bag, which of course looked like a rifle. And he was doing breathing exercises to give a mind-blowing performance later.
I had a big backpack with me that's got all my artifacts in it, and then obviously was carrying this. So out of everyone that was running, and I probably looked pretty suspicious, I suppose, with just waltzing around. And
note to everyone, do not waltz around, do not carry a big backpack, and do not breathe, heavily or otherwise. Victoria Police Critical Response Team arrived at the station, pretty much armed with everything they could find.
Officers carrying automatic rifles stormed platforms at 8:30 this morning, blocking every entrance while ordering those on board a Mernda train to get down, then evacuate with their hands above their head.
Will, who had the city at a standstill, took to Facebook promising that he was not carrying a rifle or ammunition and told everyone travelling to the city to be safe. We now cross over to our Caucasian correspondent, who insisted that she share her thoughts on the incident.
Let's not overreact. The Western world is under siege, and Melbourne is no exception. It was not too long ago, here at the busy Flagstaff station, a notorious terrorist hotbed known for its radicalised youth, that such a twisted plot was foiled. Thanks to the bravery of our Victorian police force, the situation was neutralised.
The young Indigenous leader was asked to remove his traditional yidaki from its case, completely unaware that police were searching for a gunman.
Their swift and forceful actions minimised the threat of a young Aboriginal busker armed with a musical instrument. How is it racist to say that migration of people with brown skin to Melbourne's proverbial shores is cause for serious concern? Let's not mince words here. The threat is all around us. That woman looks like she's breathing heavily. Let's call the police on her. She's holding a Mikey card like it's a weapon. Not okay. Unbelievable what this country's become. Just looking around, it's like we're not even in Australia anymore. I remember when this country used to be so Anglo-centric. Oh my God, that guy's got he's holding some kind of man bag. Honestly, we're just not taking it seriously. We're really not taking it seriously. Look at this. There's 2 suitcases in a row. Just bombs, 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 everywhere bombs. No one cares. Unbelievable. Am I the only one taking this seriously? A woman's wearing glasses. She's just on the phone, just organising a terrorist attack as we speak. Unbelievable. That's enough. I'm actually getting really emotional.
Okay, does she realize I'm the migrant host of the show she works for? Now to a crisis that's affecting us all. Leggings. More specifically, should girls be allowed to wear leggings to university? Well, a Catholic mother of 4 sons certainly doesn't think so. Marion White penned a letter to the editor titled The Leggings Problem to the University of Notre Dame's student newspaper, The Observer, explaining how the sight of leggings obtruded painfully on her visit to the university. Unsurprisingly, the letter was not received well by many students, with one student group organizing Leggings Pride Day, encouraging people of all genders to proudly wear their leggings on campus. While Marion does graciously say women have every right to wear what they want, she can't understand why women would want to expose their nether regions in this way. Come on, ladies, think of the men, or at least their mothers. When will we women learn to consider how men may be impacted by our clothing choices? As Marion explains, even the nice guys are having to do everything they can to avoid looking at our legging-clad birds. How can we expect males to concentrate in class with all this lycra parading about? We now cross to Emily to tackle this legging mayhem head-on.
Welcome back to I'm a Millennial, Get Me Out of Here. Today is laundry day and the only clean pair of pants I have are leggings. Now, just because these pseudo pants are comfortable and convenient does not give me the right to wear them about in public. I mean, we women know the effect our bodies have on men. And if a middle-aged white woman couldn't help but notice these blackly naked rear ends when she was visiting her son, then how do we expect sexually charged young men to ignore it? Hey, maybe we should have gone to camera woman to film this piece. Now, follow me today as I go around university wearing these atrocities and giving you the survival tips you need. Now, the key part of getting around with leggings is to blend in. Avoid that male gaze at all costs. Now, another key tip is to avoid the main roads. You don't want to distract those male drivers. Sorry! Ladies, have a little bit of dignity and self-respect for yourself not to wear leggings. Think of the men. To be honest, if you're going to wear leggings, you may as well wear nothing at all.
We've got to skedaddle for a second, but we'll be right back. China, censorship, we are the champions. No, that's not a three-point plan for world domination, but instead refers to the edits made prior to the Chinese premiere of the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. While critics worldwide have had nothing but praise for the film, it seems China's 5-star ratings are reserved only for its flag. Significant themes from the original movie about the life of Queen lead singer Freddie Mercury were omitted in the Chinese version, with references to sexuality, drug use and AIDS all removed, while a scene with the band wearing women's clothes was also cut. But this isn't an isolated case, as not only have other films been altered in the name of Chinese censorship, but some have even been banned from screening full stop. Now, while this practice might seem somewhat foreign to Australia, maybe that's because we are oblivious to the content that's mysteriously being censored in our day-to-day lives. And I don't mean the odd radio edit for an expletive in a song, because whether or not Ariana Grande is fucking grateful for her ex or not doesn't really concern me. I'm talking about fundamental questions. You know, the type that if the truth ever came out would lead us all to have existential crises. Things like, who took the bite out of the Apple logo? Whatever happened to the hyphen in email? And where on earth has Gautier gone? Oh, the irony. But just because films in Australia aren't as strictly censored as some nations, that doesn't mean we get off scot-free. Quite frankly, I'm not sure how anyone who's watched Pirates of the Caribbean isn't in jail considering the government's hardline stance on the matter. But with the modern world playing host to changing ideals, some of the central themes of our fave flicks from yesteryear don't quite match up with current standards and could be retrospectively censored. Take Edward Scissorhands for example. Naming someone based on a physical attribute takes us back to the era of four eyes and buck teeth nicknames, which are completely at odds with the modern concept of inner beauty. Sorry folks, looks like the re-release is going to be riveting story of Edward the hairdresser. But that's not all, with animal rights activists furious that the shark in Jaws was forced into the job and wasn't asked if it actually wanted to participate. With no suitable replacements found, it looks like the role is going to be left vacant, and hence the new blockbuster, Peaceful Swimming. And in an age where scientific evidence is struggling to compete with mummy bloggers, the censors aren't taking any chances. So any film that includes any science is gone. In light of the changing times, the Oscar-nominated masterpiece, Gravity, will now have to be replaced by something with a little more liberal view on the laws of physics. I can't wait to watch Sandra Bullock and George Clooney fly around space with some giant balloons. In fact, without science, Jurassic Park would just be a bunch of unemployed men and women going to an empty island. Although not even James Bond can avoid the censors thanks to the catchphrase 007, emergency call operators have continuously stressed the importance of dialing 000, not 000, to avoid confusion on phones old enough to still have letters on buttons. So either Daniel Craig becomes 007 or he has a direct hotline set up to the number 666 so that he is responsible for saving anyone in a hellish situation who mistakenly calls 000. On that devilish note, we have to leave the show there. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share or discuss your conspiracy theories in the comments below. Flat Earthers and Pauline Hanson fans, welcome. Keep enlightening us with the truth, but until then, the struggle, it's real.